Hey everyone, it's Louisa with the day's review of the trades that I saw and took, and kind of just an update on where we are in the market. So it's Wednesday, April the 16th, and so let's jump into it. We're on the 15-minute chart, and last night Asia ranged, which is again what we want to see. Asia ranging, it's engineering liquidity above and below. Which makes a nice setup for London. So last night we saw London move down initially and then have a big move up. So on our chart this morning, I've got here London high and London low, and then we've got our pre-market high and our pre-market low. So my pre-market high and low is between 4 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So then what happened is price kind of chugged along. We opened up here at 9:30. Price was a little bit volatile, dropped down. We had an initial move up, and then price pretty much sold off the rest of the day. So the big move I missed today, but I did take my first two trades worked out, and then I took some really stupid trades this afternoon, I think more out of boredom than anything, which is something that I've been trying to not do. So let's go down to the smaller time frame, and I'll take you through the trades that did work out and then the ones that did not work out. And I'll show you kind of what I was looking for. So just before we jump there, let me just go back to the 15-minute for a second. I just want to show you on the higher time frame. I did the market analysis on Sunday, and you can see that pretty much price is working out to what we had anticipated. So we had this move up into this 4-hour SIBI up here. The price has moved down, and we had discussed this 4-hour BISI here. And we had a couple of key areas marked on this 4-hour BISI. We had identified that this area down here, this the last quarter of this BISI had not been filled. So sorry, that's just my dog. So this area in here is an area that we discussed on Sunday that price would probably be attracted to, since that was an area of imbalance. Also, we identified this wick right here. This wick right here, and we talked about the 50% of this consequent encroachment, and we had actually looked at it on the daily. So let's just review here what that looked like on the daily. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's just move this out of the way. So the wick that we were talking about is this one on this candle. This wick right here, the 50% consequent encroachment, and that's exactly where price went to today. So our analysis for the week so far has been pretty much as anticipated. Okay, so let's get down to the 5-minute chart, and we'll look a little closer in terms of when price opened and what I was looking for. So let's just put our 9:30 back on here. Here's our 9:30 open. Now we had news this morning at 8:30, and we had Trump speaking at, Powell speaking at 1:30. So, okay. So market opens at 9:30, and if you follow my channel, you know that I trade, or I look for the break and retest, Scarface's break and retest strategy, which is the 5-minute opening range candles. So when price opens, let's go down to the 1 minute so that you can see it exactly. Sorry, my dog was scratching, and I think he's just a bit, it's giving off some, making me sneeze a little bit here. Okay, so here's our 9:30 open, and here is our 9:30 candle. I'll move this aside. So we have candle 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we draw our 5-minute high and our 5-minute low candle. So we've got our high up here, we've got our low, and then we wait for a break to the high or to the low. Now, what I did this morning was I entered a little bit early because I saw this fair value gap in here. And so I entered on this candle. I think it was this candle here. So I entered here and I exited somewhere down here. I'll open up the candles in a few seconds, but I don't want to clutter up the chart with a whole bunch of stuff. So from here down to about here, and that was 33 points. So that was my first trade. Created this order block. We had a 5-minute break of structure to the upside. So I was waiting for price to tap back into the order block, which it did. So here's our order block, which is this first black candle down prior to this movement up. Price comes back down into the order block. I took the trade and I exited somewhere up here. So that was my second trade, which was 28 points. So that was a total of 61 points, and that's where I should have finished for the day. But so let's just turn that on so you guys can see exactly where I took those trades. So the first trade here was I sold 3 right into this nice little sibby here. Now, technically, doing the 5-minute break and retest, I should have waited down here, like for price to retest here, come back up, retest, and then sell off, or break and retest. But you know, I trade ICT, so I'm seeing a bunch of things on the chart. I'm not just looking at the chart and saying, okay, you know, it's black and white, this is what I'm going to trade, and this is what it's going to look like every single morning. Once you've studied ICT and there's certain things that you look for, it's really hard to turn that off. So I would say I used the break and retest, but in conjunction with some ICT this morning. So I'm going to say that. So anyway, sold 3 at 18,594 and then bought them back 1, 2, and 3 down here, pretty close together. Order block was created. Price came up. We broke structure 5 minutes to the upside. Price came back into the order block. And as anticipated, I bought 4 here at 18,634 and I sold 4 here at 18,599. So that was 28 points between here and here. I was a little hesitant at jumping in here this morning in the order block because I was thinking that price, and this was the third one I took down here. I sold at 18,540 and I bought back here at 18,512 and 535. So that was 3 trades, 3 successful trades. I was thinking that price might come down and retap London low again. So I hesitated by not getting into the trade in the order block here and waiting a little bit for more confirmation. So anyway, it is what it is. Then price just rattled around in this sort of channel. It came back up. I took another trade here. I call this a boredom trade. I honestly should have just walked away from the chart at this point, but anyway. And this time was 11:45. I mean, I have no business trading at 11:45. So I sold 4 at 18,643 and I bought back at 18,657. So that was, I don't know, like pocket change, right? It was nothing. And then here's where these trades in here, I think I pretty much lost on these ones. And I just call these boredom trades. But the trade that I missed, and I'm a little disappointed in myself, is this break and retest right here. You could call it break and retest, or price comes up, comes back down to, this is our pre-market low. This is a major level. This is our London low and pre-market low. And this is a significant level, and I knew it was a significant level. Now that was at 1331, which is when Powell started to speak. So I was not looking to get into a trade, but this was the time to get into the trade. So there were a couple of strategies that you could have looked at this and taken. So the first one was you could have looked at this. This is on the 1 minute. You could have looked at this and said, okay, we've got these fair value gaps and these long candles, long, strong candles down, which are breakaway candles, breakaway fair value gaps. The entry would have been here, right there. Or you could have waited for price to come back to retest. Here's the retest. I would consider this a retest, a strong retest, because when price doesn't come back into the SIBI, you know that price is dropping pretty strongly. So this to me is the retest. If you trade break and retest, or if you're trading ICT, you could just call it a breakaway gap, right? So this was the entry here, and this was the entry that I missed. Again, like I say, with Powell speaking at 1:30, I was, I wasn't looking to get into the market then. And then the market just sold off right to down here. We had a little bit of a recovery at the end of the day, and you know that's based on the power of 3 candle that price is going to come back up. But when we look here at I had this marked as the sell side, and here's the 50% consequent encroachment of the daily wick that we had marked on our charts on Sunday. So anyway, that's how the day played out. I think, it's too bad that I didn't stop at the first 2 trades, but it's always that way, right? Like when you have a couple of good trades in the morning, just know when to be content with enough and walk away. So, but anyway, I just wanted to stop by, share this with you, let you know kind of how the week is going, and check in with you guys. So yeah, so let's see what tomorrow brings. I think we have news tomorrow. We have Powell is speaking. No, Thursday, unemployment claims. Yeah, unemployment claims at 8:30, and then that's it for the week. So anyway, so we'll see what happens tomorrow, and you guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon, hopefully with some good trades. Okay, peace out. Bye for now.